I'm a foot designer and I worked on the Nike Adapt Auto Max.
I'm Reggie. I'm a PLM at Nike and I worked on the Auto Max. For the second drop, we're going back to this idea of infrared. Also, it relates back to the Air Max 90 and the most iconic color of that shoe.
The Nike Mag was certainly a large point of inspiration for us. We wanted to take a few different elements of that mag DNA and shoot it through the lens of Air Max in order to create kind of a new silhouette.
Welcome back to Ty Kicks for another week, and I've got this rather enormous Nike box to get inside of.
For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record.
If you haven't been to the channel before, my name's Ty and I do sneaker reviews, event coverage and vlogs. But today we're gonna have a look at what's in this massive brown Nike box. So let's have a look what's inside this. Time to get it open. Wow. So, it looks like an enormous, clearly, Air Max of some kind. So let's lift it out and let's check it out. Let's get rid of the box. Wow, so I know exactly what these are. These are the brand new Adapt Nikes. And if you don't know anything about Adapt, Adapt is their self-lacing technology. I've covered on the channel quite a few times a couple of the different Adapt BBs that came out last year. I featured the Adapt BB Mag colorway a little while ago on my Crep City London events coverage videos. Before we get inside this box, I do want to show you those shoes just to give you an idea of which ones they actually are. So this was the original Adapt BB, the first Adapt BB to release in this black colorway with a white sole and an icy blue undersole. Moving on, and Nike finally decided they would bring a colorway that people could appreciate, and they brought it out in this. This was definitely modeled on the Nike Mag, 100%. But this shoe really stood out to me as one that, again, even though I loved it, it didn't quite have the Mag vibe about it. So it always made me chase a Mag replacement, knowing that they're so limited in terms of the genuine Mag shoe that I needed to keep that alive in my brain, that they would one day bring something out that was a little bit closer to the original Mag. The one thing that does let these Adapts down for a lot of people is their pricing. The original Hyper Adapt came in over 650 plus pounds, which is just insane for most people. And people still bought them, even though they didn't sell out as numerous colorways released. They did eventually move on and find a better price point for them in the BBs, which came out at about £299 UK. Then we've got these. These are a little bit more, but not that much more. About 339 UK pounds is the represented retail price of the Auto Max. And for that, you get this, a rather impressive box, a rather impressive look overall. So this is the box. Auto on the top, and we've got Max on the side. Really cool, really like it. And then if we just turn them over, we've got a few little bits of instructions underneath. So we've got some info here with a QR code. We've got some information about how to kickstart getting the shoes up and running, how to tighten them and how to charge them, which is going to be rather interesting once we get in there. Now, being a bit experienced with Adapt related shoes, I kind of knew that already, but actually it's quite good they finally put that on the box to give people a little bit of an idea before they even get going. So I picked these up in a UK 9.5, and that is my regular Nike and Adidas size these days. I will definitely be recommending these in a true to size, because bearing in mind, the one thing I do know about these, even though I haven't seen them in hand just yet, is that they are quite a chunky shoe. So just be mindful that the likelihood is that if you were to go too big, you may feel like they're enormous on your feet. We've got an interesting looking mascot, and we need to find out who this is and what it means. We've got a nice little pull tab, just undo that. And let's open this up. So this is it. This is the Nike Auto Max, and this is in the pure platinum and particle grey colourway. First impressions of the shoe already are that it is pretty mag-esque. You've got some very similar mag looking fastenings through the top, and the upper has got this really nice grey colourway to it. It's got a little bit of a shimmer. It's something that I would definitely say more of like a sort of a nylon kind of material, and you've got a toe guard around the front of it, a plastic toe guard. It's a little bit like, say, a Presto or something like that. You've got a plastic Nike swoosh overlay on the actual shoe, and then we go into the sock liner area, which has got quite a lot of padding actually. This shoe's padding is pretty mega. And I think we should go through the rest of it and move the box to one side. So aesthetically, I actually really like the shoe. I've liked it from the minute that I saw images of this online. Now, obviously, I would love to see a version of this in a blue, more sort of mag colorway. But again, as much as there are some nods to it, it's very much its own shape and style. And one of the amazing things about this shoe is how much air you get at the back. So yes, there are other models of Air Max that have got full length air bubbles, and you know, there's all well and good, but if we were to just talk about a standard Air Max 1 or an Air Max 90 or something like that, the air bubbles are a standard size in the heel area. This, on the other hand, is a whopper. Let's do a little comparison between a pair of Air Max 90 off-whites and this for the size of air bubble it is. It's considerably larger, a lot bigger size air bubble. It's got so much by the looks of it. It's going to hopefully be an exceptionally comfortable ride. One thing you can also see is the size of midsole is pretty big. You're looking at least a third bigger in certain areas, if not double. Although I will say there is a little bit of a deceiving element to it, because your foot does sink in certain areas. So the midsole rides up the side of the actual upper in certain ways through the midfoot. And so it does look like it's a huge platform, when really actually it's a little bit more of an outer kind of illusion really. This bright orange outsole is pretty loud, but I suppose quite a lot of Air Maxes these days have got some pretty loud colorways. And if you think about the rest of the shoe being quite a clean, basic grey color, there had to be something that popped, and I really like this. This is a piece of history. The first Air Max ever to drop with auto lacing, and to have an air bubble and cushioning is amazing. Now, there was another colorway that released in the USA, which was the motherboard colorway, and that had a yellow midsole, and the upper was a little bit different, ever so slightly, with a white swoosh, which I really did like. But I definitely prefer this colorway in terms of the highlight accent color. Looking over the shoe itself, you've got on the tongue here Auto Max on there, and then on the back you've got Air on the back of the heel counter, and it does protrude off the back of the actual upper quite considerably. As you can see here, you can see that actually your heel stops quite a way forward of the back of the shoe. There's a really large opening gap towards the back where this midsole color and the actual plastic itself rounds out all the way onto the back of the heel counter, and then it basically is attached to the back of another area of pretty sturdy material that feels a little bit felt leather-esque or almost a sort of a neoprene kind of vibe. It's another area of sturdiness and stability in the back of the heel to give you support. The midsole is definitely some sort of EVA foam. It's definitely soft. You've got enough of it there to give you cushioning. That combined with the air to give you a really nice ride. That said though, the proof will be when I go to put these on feet. Other areas where you've got the Nike swoosh is just on the side here, and you have got it on the undersole. You've also got a heel pull tab on the back of the shoe to help you get them on. That said, I don't think there's going to be much trouble getting these on your feet. When you look at this upper, this lacing system is a bit of an illusion. They're just elastic. There's nothing really there that actually helps to auto lace the shoe. Everything is hidden inside the shoe. You've got just inside there some of the lacing system with these thin black wires working their way through the upper. The insoles say Auto Max, and again we've got this little character on the end, and I'm really fascinated to find out what this actually is and what this has got to do with the Auto Max. So let's get back to what is inside the box before we go and head out to have a look at these on feet. Inside the box, we've got this in the center, which looks like it's got some extra bits and pieces on the inside. And there's a little card in here. Let's have a little look. So yeah, so the card on here says Auto Max NSW Auto Mascot. And then it says MEDICOM Toy Corporation. And that is in Tokyo in Japan. So it looks like our mascot, or should we say our mystery mascot, is actually a MEDICOM toy, which is pretty cool. And I presume that we've probably got one somewhere inside this box. Inside the box is also some Nike Adapt paperwork. Let's take this outside and have a look what's in here. There's one last thing inside the box. And we've got the charge map. So inside the box, we've got our MEDICOM mascot, which is pretty cool. And inside it says hello. And we've got something else in here. So this is the box inside a box. And I'm presuming this is what's going to have the cables in it. So I'm a little bit surprised. Now, I don't know if this happened to you, if you've picked up a pair of these, but it's come with an EU adapter, not a UK adapter, which is rather strange actually, because all my other adapts have come with a UK plug. So it's a bit strange they've come with an EU adapter this time round. And we've got a USB Type-C cable for the charge mat. Here you've got the tightening element of the shoe, where you've got a plus and minus symbol on the midsole, and this is where you will either do the tightening and loosening manually. Inside this midsole is the Adapt engine, which is the Earl engine for electro adaptive reactive lacing, and that is where all of that lacing, tightening and loosening takes place. With all of the Nike Adapt self-lacing sneakers, you do have an app that's called the Adapt app. And basically that is your one-stop shop to being able to adjust your shoe tightness, loosen the shoe, check your battery life, and also change the color on those elements in the midsole. The one thing also that has now been improved with the Auto Max is the ability to have Siri shortcuts, where you can tell Siri to check your battery life and also to loosen, tighten and adjust the shoes just by speaking to Siri through an iPhone or through an Apple Watch. Nike doesn't recommend these get wet, so I would really be cautious if you were to pick up a pair to make sure that you're not doing something that you really shouldn't be, which is jumping in puddles, water of any kind. I'm sure there's an element of water resistance, but I wouldn't want to risk it at this price. This was the Nike Auto Max, the first Air Max to release with an auto lacing system. I really hope you liked this review, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to leave me some comments down below on your thoughts on the Adapt series of shoes, self-lacing or otherwise. Also, I would really like you to subscribe to the channel, and if you do want to know when new videos drop, hit that bell next to the subscribe button. But for now, I think it's time to show these on feet. Let's go and do it. And I'll see you again for another one.